Yo, what's going on, guys? So we are almost one day into the league, so I decided to make a video showing you all of my findings about the league mechanic, so Lake of Kalandra. Then I'm gonna show you my character progression, so what gear did I get and so on, and also my Atlas progression. So first, we are almost 24 hours into the league. So the league for me started at 10 p.m. So I actually went to sleep at around 11 a.m., which basically means I played only 13 hours and I slept for like 6-7 hours. And that's basically because I actually was very tired. Normally I would play the league for more than 20-30 hours, but this time around I actually just got really tired. So I just went to sleep after 13 hours. Now I woke up and I'm gonna start my second day, even though it's technically not even 24 hours into the league. So first thing I want to talk about is the Lake of Kalandra league mechanic. So what is my opinion about it? So first of all, it's not super rewarding, especially in white, maybe even yellow maps. You're also gonna make them very rarely. You actually need to complete all of the rooms. So you need to fill all of the empty tiles before you can enter the lake, which basically means most of the time you have to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like or more than 10 maps to be able to do one lake. And when you enter it, most of the time you're gonna have just generic rooms with like here physical monsters or chaos monsters, which are gonna give you some generic rewards, which is decent overall. You're gonna get maybe like 2 rings for chaos recipe or like 1 or 2 currency items. So nothing too crazy, but also nothing too good, to be honest. But then once I actually started doing yellow maps, I started noticing a lot of more like a good reward rooms, for example, Harbinger. And especially if you're gonna place them at the end of your lake. So this one is difficulty 6 because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms. They actually give decent rewards. One time I got Beyond, which is the new Scourge league mechanic, and I got it as a difficulty around 8. It was actually very dangerous. I died multiple times, but I was able to finish it. And at the end, I got a boss, I killed it, and I got Tainted Fusing and 2 Tainted Jewelers. We don't know yet how rare these Tainted currency are, but definitely pretty good thing to find at the beginning of the league. But then I actually also got another time I got these Scourge rooms, and I didn't want it to be too difficult, so I placed it as like a difficulty 3, and it actually didn't even spawn a boss, and I didn't get any tainted currency. So definitely long chains of rooms matter a lot, and also special rooms matter a lot. Another thing I noticed is that some of the rooms, as you can see here, there is a physical room and it doesn't have any like extra like lines next to it. So this is kind of what I would say like as a tier 1 physical room. So here, for example, is kind of like a tier 2 fire room. So this one not only is gonna have like this one has just fire reward, fire themed creatures with a reward chest, and this one has rares that are possessed and they are fire. So it is something extra. But from what I noticed, these type of rooms are not dropping, do not have the reward chest. So the reward is basically having possessed rare monsters. And here is, for example, a tier 3 room with 3 lines next to the tile. And this one is gonna have a powerful enemy, which basically means it's gonna be kind of like a mini boss. You're gonna kill it, and you're also gonna get the chest, which is gonna be better than normal rewards. So there are basically simple reward rooms with like a physical, chaos, and so on type of monsters, which are just gonna give you generic rewards. You can get their higher tier versions, and on top of that you can sometimes get special reward rooms like Ambush, Delirium, Harbinger, and so on, which are gonna give you even better rewards. And these rooms also can have higher tiers. So you can have Harbinger with, for example, this one is like a tier 1, you can get tier 2 or tier 3. So I do suspect that this league mechanic is gonna be something like you're gonna be building a tiles, and most of the time it's just gonna be a decent tablet. You're not gonna get crazy rewards, but from time to time you're actually gonna make like a crazy tablet with, let's say, Harbinger tier 3 at the end, Scourge tier 3, things like that, and Delirium. I didn't even find a Delirium tier 3 yet, or even tier 2. I don't know if they even exist. I guess we'll have to see. But so far, it's pretty hard to make a decision if it's actually rewarding or not. I guess we'll have to see in the red maps. Definitely under rewarding in white maps. So here I have a last tile to choose, so I will just get the tier 3 Frost, and then I can just take the tablet. So for my build, first thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you an example of the build showcase. So I'm actually gonna do it in the Lake of Kalandra, just so you can see it. So this is item level 77. So I believe item level of Lake is gonna be determined by the highest item level of the map that you did Lake in. So when you press the Lake map button, so V, you can see the map. So now I'm gonna actually start with the right side because it has only 2 rooms. So let me go over there, and here are some strongboxes. So strongboxes are decent if you get, for example, Arcanist, like here. I am gonna do it. But you don't have to do every single, you don't have to kill every single monster in that room to just continue to the next one. So for example, like a blacksmith, artisan, ornate, I'm just gonna skip these strongboxes. If you feel like it, you can do it, but in my opinion, it's not worth it to do all of them. And in these rooms, most of the time you're gonna also find like a mini boss on top of normal monsters. So this one is Chaos, which is the hardest type for me to kill. But from what I noticed, maybe it's just my luck, but from what I noticed, Chaos rooms most of the time would give me better rewards. So here, 2 belts, which is nothing too crazy, like I said. Sometimes it feels very underwhelming. Now we have a Delirium room. So for Delirium, I'm gonna only do it for a little bit, and then I'm gonna just leave, because Delirium can get pretty hard. From time to time, I'm also gonna be spawning portals, just in case I die. I can respawn. I don't have a Kalandra portal yet, so it's pretty good idea to do it. We are in physical room now, so this should be decently easy because I have quite a lot of armor. And it is done. Unique. I actually never got a unique chest. Now let's go to the right side, and I'm actually gonna pretty soon remove the Delirium. Most of the time I do it after like 3 rewards. Let me open this chest so I can get more Delirium monsters. So normally I would not open this chest, but now with Delirium, they actually can be pretty nice thing to do. And let's go to the right. So here is the tier 3 physical room. It has I think a bit harder boss. Not too sure. I actually have a decent single target, so I didn't even struggle with it. And Delirium is almost gone, so I'm gonna just skip it. 3 maps. And map chest. So decent amount of yellow maps. So not to waste time, for now I am gonna skip the rest of it, and this was Chaos Room, which is the hardest damage type for me right now. I'm gonna finish the lake later. I just don't want to make the video too long. So basically you saw it, and you can see here some of the rewards I got. So like I said earlier, nothing too crazy. Sometimes you're gonna get things like maps, for example, maybe like 1 unique, maybe some currency. but it also is pretty time consuming to actually do them, but it doesn't take that much time to pick up the tablets in maps. So now let me show you my character progression. So in case you don't know, I'm playing Spectral Helix and eventually I'm planning to swap to General's Cry. So far I am using Chaos Primacy Axe because it has actually pretty nice physical DPS, 400, but on top of that, it was pretty nice early on because it was giving me 1% physical damage as extra fire damage per 1 rage, and we are Berserker, so I was getting quite a lot of fire damage from that. But eventually I actually did swap to Brutality and Heart of Purity with Determination, Dread Banner, so I went full on Impale because I do feel like it gives me a bit more damage and it also increases the damage of Call of Steel. So I do think going full physical instead of physical slash fire, even with this axe, is better. Everything else is just life resist here. Life resist, life resist, life resist. Magnet. Magnet is actually a very nice build. It actually right now goes for 20-25C, and I actually was able to buy it for 5 chaos. It was basically the first thing I bought after I entered maps. And because I have 400 strength right now, it is giving me 10% chance to deal double damage and 5% chance to deal triple damage, which basically is 20% more damage. It is a bit inconsistent on clear, but for bosses it is pretty nice damage. On top of that, 20 all elemental res and 40 strength is also decent. And for gloves, again, life resist. I was actually using the Tabula for a pretty long time, but when I entered yellow maps, I actually started dying a lot. I had like 3.5k life. I had my resist cap, and I had Tabula with Determination, which meant I had like 25, maybe 15k armor, and I still was dying very, very often. I don't know if like some of the monsters are bugged or something, but for example, there is a Fire Mage Skeleton. When he would just hit me with like one white mob, one white fire skeleton would hit me with one fireball and I would just get one-shotted. I don't know what is happening, but I do feel like very often I just sometimes get randomly one-shotted. Especially Arch Nemesis monsters are pretty hard. I do believe one of the issues is that they very often will curse you with something like Frostbite, or they will apply like a cold exposure, which means that if you have, for example, like exactly 77 cold res, it is gonna get reduced to like 66 or 50 or something, and you're gonna get wrecked by elemental resist, elemental damage. And it's especially pretty bad right now without spell suppression, so I decided to go for additional maximum elemental resist, and I am even gonna try to get this one. On top of that, I got better gear with more life. I went for 5 link instead of 6 link with 140 life on my chest, so I decided to get much more defenses. And also the big thing was getting immunity to ignite, shock, and freeze from my Pantheon, and corrupting blood from mastery, because ailments also are very dangerous. I do feel like most of the time when you encounter any Arch Nemesis monster, you immediately get just ignited, shocked, you have bleeding, like you have like full line of ailments on you and you just die to all of them. If there are like no special monsters, you don't have any ailments on you or anything, you are pretty tanky even with like 3k life, but with all of these it can be pretty dangerous. In terms of my tree, you can see here, like I said earlier, I decided to go for a bit more defensive approach. So again, I got here some additional resistances, a lot of life here, here, and here, and here. I also had to have 400 strength, which is why I went for 20 strength here with some physical damage and 20 strength here. And to be honest, that's pretty much it in terms of character. I also did drop 1 Empower, which right now goes for 0.3 Divine. And also I did buy Replica Conqueror Efficiency, which I did buy for 20C, and now it goes for 0.4 Divines, which is basically like 40-50 chaos, so it was definitely worth to buy it. In terms of what I'm gonna go for right now, I am gonna get more defense. Like I said, even on a 5 link, my damage feels pretty nice right now. Eventually, I'm obviously gonna go for 6 link again, but for now, I'm gonna focus on defenses, so more maximum elemental resist, maybe more life in here. We will have to see. In terms of my Atlas progression, I am around yellow maps right now, so I did complete most of my tier 8s, and I'm gonna now be doing tier 10s and tier 9s, and I actually started dropping my first red maps, so I am moving into the red maps, and my damage so far feels still nice, but like I already mentioned, defenses are pretty bad, so for the red maps, I'm definitely gonna try to increase my defenses by a lot. And one last thing I want to ask you, maybe you will be able to help me with it. For some reason, when I'm using my Awakened PoE trade, when I check the item and I move my mouse outside of the item, it just disappears. I'm trying to, for example, heal here, tick the 41 total strength, so I can search on the trade for this strength roll, and I just move my mouse to do it, and it just disappears. I have no idea how to fix it. I already reinstalled the Awakened PoE trade and it didn't do anything, so I have no idea how to do it, and it is pretty annoying that I can't check for specific mods. So maybe one of you will be able to help me. But for this video, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.